One powerful question we all need to ask, and one that affects nearly every household today, is this: how did both children and adults become addicted to screens? I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. If you found your way here, chances are you've noticed it too. The quiet but relentless unraveling of our focus, our presence, our thinking. We're living in an age where our attention has become the most valuable commodity, and our brains are being rewired, one swipe, scroll, and notification at a time. The alarming rise of screen dependency isn't just a passing trend. It's reshaping how we relate, parent, learn, and even how we exist. This video is for you if you've picked up your phone to check one message and looked up 40 minutes later. Your child says, "I'm bored," the moment a device is taken away. You feel anxious or empty without your screen nearby. You've noticed that real conversations now feel like interruptions. This isn't about banning technology. It's about reclaiming balance, focus, and our sense of control. Throughout this series, we'll uncover why screens are so addictive to the human brain, how platforms are designed to hijack our focus, why your brain craves novelty and instant gratification, what this constant stimulation is doing to our attention spans, and most importantly, how to reclaim your mind and your family from screen dependence. This isn't just about smartphones and tablets. It's about reclaiming clarity, connection, and conscious presence in a world that profits from our distraction. Reconnect with life beyond the screen. Are you ready to take the first step toward focus, peace, and presence again? Let's get started. The human brain is wired for curiosity and stimulation. It thrives on novelty, something new, exciting, and unexpected. And in today's digital world, novelty is everywhere. Each swipe, like, notification, or video acts like a hit of dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. These micro bursts of pleasure reinforce the habit of checking, scrolling, and staying engaged, even when we don't want to. Your brain treats likes and messages like micro rewards. It's like carrying a digital slot machine in your pocket. Key points: dopamine hits. Every alert gives a tiny rush of pleasure, training the brain to crave more. The 3-second rule: most platforms are engineered to grab your attention in the first 3 seconds, before your brain even realizes what's happening. Tristan Harris, former Google ethicist: tech is designed to exploit human psychology for time on screen. You're not imagining it. All social media, including those designed for academics and other experts, do it. Ever open Instagram to check one message, and 30 minutes later, you're watching a dog groomer in Finland? That's not random, it's by design. Let's look at the timeline of our digital dependence. 2004. Facebook launches, introducing the infinite news feed. 2007. The iPhone arrives. The screen becomes a constant companion. 2012, 2020. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Stories, and Infinite Scroll explode. Content becomes faster, flashier, and harder to stop watching. A startling fact: our average attention span has dropped from 12 seconds in 2000 to 8 seconds in 2023, less than a goldfish. We are not just distracted. We are neurologically rewired by the devices we carry every day. The way we use screens today isn't accidental. It's engineered. Tech companies hire behavioral scientists and attention engineers to create products that are deliberately addictive. These platforms don't just respond to human behavior, they shape it. And they do it with precision. Platform design. Tricks that keep us hooked. Infinite scroll. Invented by Azara Skin, this feature removes natural stopping points. There's no end to the feed, just more content waiting to load. It's like trying to stop eating from a bag of chips that refills itself. Red notification badges. That little red dot you see at the top or bottom of your screen isn't just a color, it's urgency. It triggers a fear of missing out, FOMO, and demands our attention like a fire alarm. You tap just to make it go away. Autoplay. You don't press play anymore. Videos just roll one after another. Before you know it, 5 minutes becomes 50. If you're not paying for the product, you are the product. 6-7 hours a day. That's how much screen time the average person racks up. Teen depression and anxiety have surged alongside increased smartphone use. We don't just use these platforms, we're trained by them. They turn natural human tendencies, curiosity, reward seeking, boredom avoidance, into a digital loop we can't escape. You close an app, only to open it again 15 seconds later. Not because you want to, but because your brain is running on autopilot. It's not just about screens. It's about how screens are designed to override your self-control. Screens are addictive, not just because they're flashy, but because they give our brains what they crave the most: instant reward. With just a tap or a swipe, you're entertained, informed, or distracted. There's no effort, no wait, no silence, just stimulation on demand. At this point, you may be asking why the brain loves it. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid discomfort. Screens deliver that pleasure instantly. Whether it's a funny video, a game win, or a flood of likes on a post. It gives us fast solutions with minimal effort, and our brains keep coming back for more. Think about it. Games, YouTube, TikTok, and social media offer quick hits of excitement. Each new piece of content is designed to outshine the last, keeping us chasing the next burst of satisfaction. This trains the brain to expect constant stimulation, making anything slower, like reading, conversation, or even resting, feel boring. Let's look at real-life example. Have you heard kids say, "I'm bored," within seconds of taking away their phone or tablet? It's not just impatience, it's withdrawal. Their brains have grown used to a steady stream of entertainment. Once that stops, silence feels unbearable. We've taught our minds that boredom is a problem, something to be fixed by a screen. What is the hidden cost? When kids are raised on instant rewards, they struggle with patience. They avoid slow creative activities like drawing or storytelling. They lose the ability to sit quietly with their thoughts. And adults aren't immune either. Scrolling becomes a reflex. We open our phones when we're tired, anxious, waiting in line, or avoiding a tough task. We look for quick escapes instead of real solutions. Today's screen content isn't just engaging, it's supercharged. Bright colors, rapid cuts, exaggerated sounds, and fast-paced edits are everywhere, especially in children's programming and social media. These features aren't accidental, they're deliberate attention traps. So, what happens to the brain? This kind of high-stimulation media rewires the brain to crave constant novelty. The more fast-paced content you consume, the more your brain expects it. As a result, anything slower starts to feel unbearable. Children's shows today are more colorful than the natural world, and that's the problem. Kids begin to prefer what's on screen over real life. Nature, conversation, and imaginative play just can't compete with that level of stimulation. This is the real-world impact. Children now expect constant action and feedback. Attention spans have shrunk so much that even fun tasks feel like work if they're not fast and flashy. When you remove the screen, they say, "I'm bored." Not because they lack options, but because their brain has been trained to need non-stop stimulation. Children's attention spans used to be short. Now, they're tiny. They need lights, colors, and constant sound just to stay engaged. And adults feel it too. Long articles, slow-paced movies, or even face-to-face conversations can feel like a struggle after a long day of scrolling. What? We're losing deep focus, critical thinking, long-term memory, the ability to be still and reflective. Our minds are becoming addicted not just to screens, but to the pace of what they show us. We're not just distracted, we're being trained to stay that way. It's easy to point fingers at kids, but here's the truth we often avoid. Adults are addicted to screens just as much, if not more. We justify it with reasons that sound responsible. I need it for work. I'm just checking the news. It helps me unwind. And yet, we find ourselves scrolling mindlessly before bed, reacting to notifications, mid-conversation, using screens as babysitters while we take a break, going back to Google it instead of trying to remember. The irony? We're telling our kids to get off screens while glued to ours. Do you know why this matters? Kids don't do what we say, they do what they see. When children grow up watching adults constantly on their phones, they learn that this is normal behavior. Even if we set rules, they watch what we model. And many parents feel this deep down. How can I ask my child to limit screen time when I can't put my own phone down? The vicious cycle. This is an unending cycle. Adults use screens to escape stress. Kids mirror that behavior. Families spend more time side by side, but emotionally apart. Screen time becomes the default coping mechanism for everyone. We reach for screens to relax, but often end up more tired, distracted, and disconnected. The pandemic made it worse. Lockdowns turned screens into lifelines. School, work, meetings, entertainment, even birthday parties. This is one major thing that we would remember the year 2024. What began as necessity quickly became habit. And now we struggle to reset. Before 2020, screen overuse was already a growing concern. But then the pandemic hit, and suddenly screens became essential. What was once optional, online meetings, digital classrooms, virtual birthday parties, became non-negotiable. Our homes turned into offices, classrooms, and theaters, all through a screen. What changed? Remote learning became the norm. Children spent 6-8 hours a day online for school alone. Zoom calls replaced in-person meetings and often multiplied, blurring the line between work hours and personal time. Virtual everything took over. Playdates, church services, therapy, workouts, even weddings. And while technology helped us stay connected during uncertain times, it also deepened our dependency. What started as a survival tool became a lifestyle. For kids, screens went from occasional entertainment to daily necessity. Even after schools reopened, the habit stuck. Many children now struggle to engage in offline activities without complaining of boredom or asking for a device. For adults, working from home blurred boundaries. There was no commute, no office door to close. The digital world began to invade every corner of home life. Checking emails during dinner, normal. Scrolling in bed, expected. The pandemic didn't just normalize screen addiction, it accelerated it. Now, as the world reopens, many families are realizing just how much screen time has crept into their lives and how difficult it is to undo. Well, some are still blissfully unaware of this. Breaking free from screen addiction isn't about guilt or going cold turkey. It's about making intentional shifts, small, consistent actions that reclaim focus, creativity, and connection. Here's a roadmap that works for both adults and children. 1. Rebuild dopamine. Naturally, screens deliver fast dopamine hits. To wean off, we must replace that with real-world rewards that stimulate joy without addiction. Go for nature walks, play music or engage in creative arts, tell or listen to stories. Move your body, dance, exercise, or play sports. Do puzzles, crafts, or build something with your hands. Natural joy doesn't spike and crash. It satisfies deeply and lingers longer. On. Set clear screen boundaries. Use built-in tools like Apple's Screen Time or Android's Digital Wellbeing, but don't stop there. Create screen-free zones and rituals. Try 1 tech-free hour before bed and after waking. Establish no phones at meals or during family time. Set a visual screen schedule for kids so expectations are clear. Boundaries are not punishment, they are protection. 1. Make space for boredom. Yes, boredom. Let it happen. Boredom is the doorway to creativity. When kids or adults are forced to sit with nothing, their minds start building something. Provide quiet toys, art supplies, or building blocks. Offer books and storytelling time. Play local, traditional, or imagination-based games. Giving a screen to stop boredom quiets the child, but also silences their imagination. 1. Remove temptation from sight. Out of sight, out of mind. Seriously. Keep phones out of bedrooms at night. Create a family phone station. No screens at the dinner table. Avoid TVs or tablets in kids' bedrooms. For emergencies, leave the ringer on. But for daily living, let the silence return. Don't fight willpower. Change the environment. 1. Slow down the content. Not all screen content is equal. Switch from fast and flashy to slow and meaningful. Choose documentaries over TikTok. Read books or listen to long-form podcasts. Encourage games that challenge the brain. Scrabble, puzzles, word searches. Help your brain rediscover the joy of depth over speed. On. Talk about the why. Be honest with yourself and your children. Explain that screens are addictive by design. Talk about how they impact focus, mood, and time. Awareness breeds self-regulation. Once you understand what's happening to your mind, you can start taking it back. 1. Replace scrolling with rituals. Instead of reaching for your phone, reach for connection. A cup of tea and a book, a walk after dinner, journaling before bed, a daily family check-in circle. Habit replaces habit. Don't just cut the screen, fill the space with something better. Reclaiming your time and attention isn't just a productivity hack. It's a return to presence, peace, and real connection. Let's be clear. The addiction isn't just to screens. It's to how screens make us feel. Distracted, stimulated, comforted, numbed, busy, guilty. We keep scrolling, watching, tapping, not because we have to, but because it feels easier than stopping. But here's the truth. You are not lazy. Your brain has been trained, and it can be retrained. This is not about shame. It's about awareness and intention. It's about realizing that your time, your attention, your presence are yours to reclaim. So, what happens when you start saying no to screens? You say yes to slower moments that matter, conversations that go deeper, creativity that comes from silence, real rest, not just escape, connection with the people in front of you. You start to rediscover a world outside of pixels, a world that is quieter, richer, and far more real. It's not just about unplugging from screens, it's about plugging back into life. So begin where you are. Start small, stay consistent, and remember, this is not just about your child. It's about you, your mind, your peace, your presence. Less screen, more life, more joy, more you. If this message resonated with you, if you saw yourself, your kids, or your family in any part of this story, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not powerless. Screen addiction isn't just a personal battle. It's a cultural shift we must face together. That's why this conversation can't stop here. Here's how you can help spread the message. Share this video with parents, teachers, friends, anyone trying to raise a focused, healthy, and connected generation. Start the conversation in your home's council saying school song or community. Subscribe for more insights and practical tools to fight digital distraction and build mental resilience. Comment with your experiences, what's helped you, what you're struggling with, or just to say, me too. Let's build a community that supports each other, not in escaping the digital world, but in mastering it. Tag someone who needs to see this. Send it to someone whose kids are struggling. Be the reason someone starts their journey to reclaim attention and peace. Because the world doesn't need more screen zombies. It needs more present parents, curious kids, and focused minds. Let's bring life back to real life together.